Hi, welcome back to my channel. Big news is I'm back over $10,000 in the portfolio after a horrible last week. I am down about $34 on the day, but only about 0.33%, so not bad at all, especially considering where I was the past week. Over the past week itself, I'm up about 0.65%. Over the past month, up about 0.9%. Over the last 3 months, up $1,545 or 18%. Over the past year now, up nearly 25%, and all-time up almost exactly 25%. Total portfolio value hovering right now because of Bitcoin, but it is worth about $10,190, which is wonderful to see. Over the past week, I did put another $150 into my account. My total investment in this account is now $8,150. With that $150, I purchased $75 worth of Bitcoin. My new position is 0.229 Bitcoin. The price there was $10,264, and the quantity that I purchased was 0.0073 Bitcoin. Very happy with that purchase. I purchased 2 more shares of SPHD, which of course is the second largest stock holding in my portfolio. The 2 shares there, price was $34.72 per share, or total cost of $69.43. And I did purchase 1 more share of AT&T at $29.77. Both of those are very large players in my portfolio. Love the dividends on both of those, but the biggest news this week has to be Penn National Gaming and the news that came out about their price outlook. So we will talk about that right now. And as always, I'll take a brief pause to remind you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below what you want to see next. Any support is highly appreciated. Here we have an article from benzinga.com talking about the potential of Penn National Gaming. Here we can see Penn National has significant market share opportunity in online sports betting, according to Rosenblatt. A Penn National Gaming analyst has issued a street-high price target and laid out a case for shares of the sports betting stock to hit $300 if everything goes perfect. The Penn analyst. Rosenblatt Securities analyst Bernie McTernan initiated coverage of Penn National Gaming with a buy rating and $80 price target. Takeaway here: with a unique and content-focused strategy, we believe Penn has the opportunity to gain significant share in the online sports betting market at above peer margins driven by their Barstool partnership and physical footprint. So the 2 big things here is that their partnership with Barstool allows them to have physical casino locations as well as the younger audience that Barstool brings, and we'll get to that in just a minute. The key point is that Barstool has a wide reach and an important demographic for sports betting with an engaged and growing user base. This is where it gets nutty. Barstool reaches 48% of millennial and Gen X men. That is absolutely unheard of in any industry. Granted, that is a small target audience of just millennial and Gen X men, but 48%, nearly 1/2 of millennial and Gen X men. That is crazy to me. It really shows what Barstool has been able to achieve, and really where ESPN and sort of these Disney-driven sports companies are missing out. Rosenblatt's price target is based on the belief that Penn National can reach a 15% market share, which would likely put it in 3rd place behind leaders DraftKings and FanDuel. Of course, I do have 2 shares of DraftKings. I'm sort of hedging my bets. I think this industry is very fledgling. It is still in its infancy, and there's a lot of room for growth, and all these companies can be successful. McTernan's $15 bear case based on the unknown success of the Barstool app and the new customer acquisition method. His $300 bull case is predicated on Penn National Gaming becoming a market leader with 1/3 of the market share in the territories in which it operates. Now that is talking about a very large portion of the market share, but clearly he believes that's possible. The bull case also comes from a higher market size of $23 billion compared to the $18 billion laid out in the base case. Here's where it gets interesting. This runs through the different reports and what different companies think this sports betting industry is going to look like. So Rosenblatt Securities is forecasting an $18 billion opportunity and $21 billion market for iGaming. Bank of America says $24 billion. Morgan Stanley says sports betting and iGaming will hit $12 billion by 2025. So that one's the smallest of the markets, but clearly all of these banks and all of these investors believe it's going to be a huge market. Barstool has loyal fans who root for the brand, and Penn's built an in-customer base that other companies can't buy, and that could make the Barstool app a success from the start. Shares were up about 7.3% today and are trading now at about $62. The new 52-week high was reached today at $65.43. Shares are up over 130% on the year. Huge news, very excited about that, and of course I'm going to do my best to continue purchasing Penn National Gaming when possible. The first stock today is Vivint Solar. Of course, I got to talk about this one every week because it's the largest stock in my portfolio, and the gains here are absurd. Up 357%, or about $1,200 all time now. On the week, up about 9% after that large drop-off. Over the past month, up 32%. We can see they peaked around the same place here in the beginning of September and have really stabilized since then. Over the past 3 months, up 240. Over the last year, up 320, and 5 years now, up 134%. Of course, the merger with Sunrun is happening at the end of the year. A lot of question marks about what that will look like, the success of both the companies combined. I think for the time being, I'm just going to sit where I'm at and try to hold out for as long as possible until we have more information. Next up is the aforementioned Penn National Gaming, now trading for $63.55. Total return here is up 152%, or $345. Very happy to see that. So like they said, up 7.5% on the day and up almost 2% after hours. On the week, up almost 20%. 3 months, up 110%. Over the past year, up 220%, and 5 years now, up 246%. This is an extremely volatile market, as we saw when the pandemic hit. People couldn't physically go to casinos. When people lose their jobs, gambling is not a great thing to do. Interestingly enough, there is some research that says people that like to gamble do not gamble less during recessions, which isn't good, but is definitely interesting to see. So like I said, I want to purchase more shares of Penn National Gaming. Now that this price is starting to climb, that may be slightly more difficult, but I like my position here at 9 shares and would like to see that in the double digits. Next up is Coca-Cola, the biggest dividend king in my portfolio, $50 even right now. Total return is still down about $18, but again, very strong dividend here, and we know just based off their previous track record, 55 years of dividend growth, that dividend is going to continue increasing no matter what happens. 81% buy rating, which is awesome to see. On the month, only up about 4%. 3 months up 5%. On the year, still down about 8%. Really, I see this as a buying opportunity as opposed to really anything else. And over the past 5 years, up about 29%. Let me know what you think about this one. There are a lot of analysts that say this is sort of an antiquated stock of yesteryear, but I think there's still a lot of potential both in the global market and the diversification of what Coca-Cola is doing. So let me know in the comments what you think about that. Next is AT&T, which I think is fairly similar to Coca-Cola. They have struggled as of recently, but a very strong historical track record, extremely high dividend here, and there's really no reason to believe that AT&T is going to fail based on what's happening in the market. So total returns down about $37 or 14%. Zoom out to the month, they are down about 5.5%. Over the past 3 months, down 7%. Over the past year, down 22%, which is not good. And over the past 5 years now, down about 12%. If anything, I think the dividend is really what's going to hold AT&T strong here. The dividend yield, last time I checked, was about 7%. Here we see 7.01, and they are going to continue to increase their dividend every year. Their payout ratio is not very high, so it is something they can continue to do. And with the rollout of 5G, I think this is a decent holding in my portfolio. Sitting here at 8 shares, again, another one that I'd like to see in double digits. Last stock here today is Sony, trading at $76.60. Total returns up $40 or about 37%. This one we can look more at the long-term growth. So over the past 3 months, up 10%. Over the past year, up about 30%, and 5 years now, up 212%. 92% buy rating. PlayStation 5 is coming out at the end of the year. Of course, that battle between Microsoft and Sony is going to be very interesting to see how it plays out and who really wins. I don't think this is an industry where both of them can win. I think there's a very clear rift here. There are certain people that are going to continue buying Microsoft products and certain people that are going to continue to buy Sony products, but either way, it is going to be an interesting battle. Last one for today is Bitcoin. Total return on Bitcoin is up $171 now all time, or about 8%. Bitcoin has tumbled over the last month. Over the last week, we can see it's only down about 3%. On the last month, down 13%. 3 months, still up about 5%. Over the past year, pretty flat. And over the past 5 years, up 4,200%. As I mentioned before, new quantity is 0.229. My goal is to be at approximately 0.3 Bitcoin by the end of the year, because of course I think 2021, based on the pattern, is going to be a huge year for Bitcoin and something I want to have in my portfolio. That's why it makes up 23% of my portfolio and why I have spent $2,200 on Bitcoin now. Let me know what you think about this one. I know some people think it's too drastic, there's too much risk here. But I am committed to Bitcoin and I will be holding until at the very least the end of 2021. Thanks for watching to the end of the video, and I'll be back with another one next week.